I just like to say something. You know, for me, and I genuinely mean it, tonight was my best moment I personally have ever had in boxing. I've been involved in big fights over the years with lots of different fighters and had the ups and downs and good times and bad times. But for me, this was my best moment, because Joe Calzaghe I believe is the best fighter that I've ever been involved with. You know, at this stage of my time in promoting, he's never give less than 110%. He makes fights he can win easy. He makes them hard because of his fighting heart. You know, there's times in that fight where he could have just gone and boxed, but he didn't. He wanted to trade. The last round, he just could have coasted that last round, but he stood and he fought and showed what he is. Joe Calzaghe, the fighter, and you know, he's a phenomenal athlete, phenomenal boxer, and I don't think we're going to see the likes of him for a long time. And we should appreciate what we've got in Joe Calzaghe, in I think probably the best fighter, certainly in my time in boxing, that's been. Now, I know in the future, nobody talks about the future, and I know you're going to ask Joe who he wants to fight next, and and lots of things get said in the heat in a moment. And I know that Joe wants to fight who he does want to fight. He wants to fight Bernard Hopkins, and he's been wanting to fight Bernard Hopkins for a number of years. We thought we had a deal done with Bernard Hopkins many years ago. Jay Larkin, when he was with Showtime, myself, Don King, and Bernard Hopkins' lawyer were on the phone. We did the deal. The following day, Bernard Hopkins changed the rules entirely and asked for double the amount of money. Bernard Hopkins is a great fighter, he's a great athlete. But I'll tell you what, you go back and you think of the great fighters and the great athletic boxers of the States, the Ray Leonards, you know, the Tommy Hearns, the Marvin Haglers. They fought everybody. They didn't do their best to duck. They didn't duck fighters. All those big fights happened. Joe Calzaghe will go to the States, will fight Mr. Hopkins in his hometown. He'll go to Philadelphia to fight him. He will fight him anywhere it takes to get the fight on. If Bernard Hopkins is the warrior that he says he is, then make the fight. Make that fight with Joe Calzaghe. We'll go to the States. HBO are here. You guys make it happen. And I say to HBO, do not give Bernard Hopkins another fight. Don't let him fight anybody else. Don't let him fight a Winky Wright. Tell him if he wants to fight somebody, he's got to fight Joe Calzaghe. Because that's a fight. That's a real fight. Now let's make it's not the promoters stopping a fight from happening. Let's make the TV companies make it happen. You guys, you have the responsibility. You bring us that fight. You bring that fight to us because we want it. And what we don't want happening is that, yeah, I'll take the fight, but Joe's got to take 10 quid to fight him. He wants it fair pay, being paid fairly for it, but we want that fight. He wants it, and I want him to have it, because you know what's going to happen? The same thing to Bernard Hopkins that happened to Jeff Lacey, and the same thing that happened to Mikkel Kessler. He will show you what he's got. We want it. That wasn't a speech. It was a press conference. Now I'm sure you want to speak to Joe and his dad, and they've got more important things to say to me. But I'm so proud of them, and I'm lucky. I've been very lucky to have been blessed to have been involved with this guy throughout, you know, his career as a champion. And I can't tell you, it's been a pleasure all the way through, and I loved every moment of it. And this is my best night in boxing tonight. Great.
Joe, what was the adjustment that you were able to make to eliminate that uppercut that seemed to be hurting you quite a bit there in the mid-round?
I don't know, just basically trying to get out of the way of it, you know. I think I felt I was dominating the fight. I thought my jab was working excellent from the start. Like I do a lot of times, I got a bit careless. You know, I hurt him with a body shot in the 4th round and shook him up a bit. So I got a bit careless, but I suppose that's what makes fights exciting. And you know, it's difficult to say, you know, what the fight was like. I felt it was an exciting fight. He caught me some good shots. He stunned me a few times. I stunned him a few times. But hey, I'm just very proud, you know, to 35, nearly 36 years old in March. And you know, I've always said that I've never avoided anybody, and given them the opportunity to fight the best, I will show them all about. You know, I showed what I can do with Lacey, and I showed what I can do with Mikkel Kessler. So. I'm just over the moon right now to win 4 major world title belts and to become ring champion. and 10 years as a champion. It was amazing. I'm so proud. It'll probably take a while to sink in. It's awesome.
And you know, when you think about it, he could have won that fight easier. He could have gone out there and boxed. So when he was working off his jab, you know, Mikkel was finding it difficult to cope with that. But that's the guy's heart. He wants to stand, he wants to trade at times. I mean, the last round, he could have gone out the last round and just coasted that last round. But it wasn't about that with Joe Calzaghe. It was going out the last round.
Hopkins will come out of hiding and put, you know, have a pair of balls this time for change and don't back out. You know, he says he wants to fight. I'll fight, like Frank said. We'll go with fighting his garden wherever he wants to fight.
Joe, is this your toughest fight you've ever had? Do you feel that Mikkel Kessler is the best fighter you fought?
It's difficult to say. I don't know. You know, he put me some decent shots. I felt that I could have won the fight a lot more comfortably than I did. I felt, you know, when I was sticking to my boxing and my jab, I felt that my jab was doing brilliantly. Obviously, very, very strong, and I got a bit tired at the end. But I threw over 1,000 punches, I suppose. So he was one of the toughest I've fought. Yeah, definitely. The toughest fight I've ever had was Eubank fight. But that's going back 10 years ago. That's because it's the first time I've done 12 rounds. So it was a tough fight. It's difficult to say. I felt that, you know, I didn't feel that bad. I don't know. What did it look like? Did it look weak enough? Well, yeah. You know what I mean? I fought Peter Manfredo. You know what I mean? Let's come on, face it. That wouldn't be a fight. And I thought that gorilla, that guy, that bloody tried to drop the head on me. That was the second fight. That big guy tried to do WWE on me. So to be honest, the last fight I had was basically in 2006. So you know what I mean? It's a first fight I've had to do 2 years. So hopefully I can box in 4 months' time. Then you will be able to see a better fight.
Hey Joe, are you concerned at all if Hawkins doesn't take the fight? Your biggest opponent for a big money fight would be Taylor Pavlik winner, and they're both going to be able to fight no more than 168.
Oh, that's fine. For them fights. Hey, you know, I suppose.
Do you know that? I mean, again, that's. I don't think if they fight again, which I'm sure is going to happen, I don't think there'll be a different outcome, in my opinion. But if Pavlik wins, there's no way that Bob Arum is going to allow Pavlik to come up to fight at super middleweight. He'll milk it. He'll milk him at middleweight. That's what he'll do.
But he said he would do it.
Listen, Bob said, we're not going to say what Bob said today and he says tomorrow. He says a lot of things. One thing for sure, it won't happen. For me, again, you know, styles make fights. Kelly Pavlik comes to fight. He's a warrior. And his style would suit Joe Calzaghe down to the ground.
Do you agree with that, Joe?
I think it'd be a great fight. And yeah, I see myself knocking him out.
I was going to say, Mike, I was telling Mike there's a baby crying in Shally 10. He don't know what I'm talking about.
Frank, on the subject, would Hopkins be obvious to fight at middleweight though? You fought last time.
Well, you know, look, it can be super middleweight, or it can be 175, or it can be catchweight. Do you know how we just want to make the fight. That's how confident he is. That could be his decision. So he's got no way out of this. You know, whatever way he wants it, he can have it. As long as Joe gets well paid. So there's no excuses. You know, be a Ray Leonard, be a Marvin Hagler. That's what we want to see from Bernard Hopkins. That's what the British public think of. You know, the great American fighters. You know, let's get him into that. See if he wants to come up to the reputation that they had. He can pick the weight, he can pick the date, he can pick the town, and I really do mean it. Don't let him fight a bum. Don't give him an easy job. Let's make this fight.
Joe, how will you celebrate tomorrow?
I'm going to celebrate tomorrow. I'm just going to chill out. It's going to be good just not to get up for a sweatsuit on for a run. I tell you what, I'm going to put in my sweatsuits when I go home.